Hello students, this is a class for BA Part 3 and we will be reading a prayer for my daughter. It will be part first of my lecture and this is a poem by W.B. Yeats, who is a poet laureate and he belongs to Ireland. He basically originally an Irish poet. This poem was written at the time when World War I had commenced and there was a great anxiety over the mind of the poet, and he he was very wary. He was very, you can say, conscious of the future of his daughter, newborn daughter. Poet lived in uh, Cool Park in Ireland, and it was actually a castle-like home where the poet seems to be caring for the newborn infant baby and thinking about the future of the girl. Let us read the poem, A Prayer for My Daughter. So, what can be the prayers in the mind of a father who is a poet also, especially in the times of World War? The times are difficult. Every day there were news of bombardments, killing of soldiers and innocent people. Cities were destroyed. So, in such an atmosphere, the father is very conscious about the future of his daughter. Let us see what he says, what he has to say as a prayer for his daughter in this poem. Once more, the storm is howling. The place where he was living is surrounded by forest and he is facing a storm. And this is not only a storm outside, it is not only a storm natural, it is also a storm in the mind of the poet also. So the outer phenomena is also felt by the poet in the inner psyche. So once more, the storm is howling, and half hid under this cradle hood and coverlid, my child sleeps on. His infant daughter is sleeping, covered by a cradle hood, and she is so innocent that she just cannot have any kind of knowledge or fear of this howling storm. The poet wants to communicate this, that the child is ignorant of the outward world. There is no obstacle but Gregory's wood and one bare hill. There is one hill outside his home, and wood. Wood means forest. Gregory's wood. It's a forest of Gregory. There is no other obstacle between his house and Gregory's wood and one bare hill, whereby the haystack and roof leveling wind, whereby the haystack, the crop is cut, the hay is put into stacks, and there the wind is so powerful that it levels the roof. Roof leveling means such a powerful flow of wind which levels the roof, means which destroys the roofs and puts it in one level. And this wind is bred on Atlantic, can be stayed. There is no obstacle but Gregory's wood and one bare hill, whereby the haystack and roof leveling wind can be stayed, which can be stopped. The wind has nothing else except the Gregory's wood and one bare hill, which can stay it, which can stop it. Because the wind is bred on Atlantic Ocean and it is very powerful. And for an hour, I have walked and prayed. The poet is, the mental state of the poet is revealed in this line. For 1 hour, the poet is facing this howling storm. He has been walking restlessly in his own home, and prayers are there in his mind because of the great gloom that is in my mind. Why he is walking and praying? Because there is great gloom in his mind and he is perturbed by that. So, slowly, gradually, the poet is building an atmosphere of horror, natural horror, as well as he is indicating, he is hinting about something of great gloom moving in his mind, moving his heart. I have walked, I have prayed for this young child, for this young baby, this girl, an hour. And I have heard the sea wind scream upon the tower. Sea wind is screaming loudly upon the tower. And under the arches of the bridge upon the river in an archway, under that bridge, and scream in the elms. Elms are actually trees, a particular kind of variety that is grown in the forest. And I hear the screaming elm trees above the flooded stream. The river, the flood, the stream is flooded. It is overflowing with water because of this wind, तेज हवा के कारण. So in the elm trees above the flooded stream, the elms are screaming. There is a very loud noise in the trees. Imagining in excited reverie. Reverie is actually daydreaming. दिवा स्वप्न जिसको बोलते हैं. In an excited daydreaming state of mind, the poet says imagining. The poet stands imagining. He starts imagining that the future years had come, dancing to a frenzied drum out of the murderous innocence of the sea. He gives you a very terrible kind of image in these 3 lines. The poet is actually indicating to a belief that is there in the Bible or Christianity. In Christianity, they say that after every 2000 years, the world comes to an end. It is actually the doomsday, they call it. So he says that the future years had come. It appears as if the world has come to an end. Future years had come means the world is as if being folded, dancing to a frenzied drum, and these future years have come as if they are dancing to a frenzied drum. Frenzied means in a madness. So drums which are being beaten in the state of madness, and this upon this beating of drums in madness, and these future years are dancing means as if they are frenzied. The future times are frenzied means they do not realize what is happening. They don't bother about the future. And these future years have come. How the time is winding up, how the civilization is being winded up out of the murderous innocence of the sea. The sea is portrayed as if it were innocent. Why the sea is innocent? Although it is destroying the mankind. The Bible says that there will be a deluge. Deluge means बाढ़, flood. तो सब खत्म हो जाएगा इस बाढ़ में, सब कुछ प्रलय जिसको बोलते हैं, that is there. So the sea is considered to be innocent. Why sea is innocent? Because it does not kill the people intentionally or deliberately. It is actually the waters in the flood, in the deluge, that kill. It is actually the pace of the sea because of the flooded situation, flooded state, that mankind is killed. So although it is murderous, it is called innocent. and the future years had come, suggests that it is the catastrophe, it is actually the uh, doomsday or end of the days, which the poet is hinting. ऐसा the poet feels. In such a state, what are the prayers that are there ringing in the mind of the poet? Let us see. In the third stanza, the poet talks about this prayer that is going on in his mind. May she be granted. May is used for expressing wishes. So he says, may she be granted beauty. The first thing that he desires for his daughter, that he prays for his daughter, is beauty. May she be granted beauty. But then he updates his thought. He says, yet not beauty to make a stranger's eye distraught. She should not be over beautiful. It should not be a beauty to see the which a stranger's eyes become distraught. Means they become almost in a snare, almost they lose their senses. That is to say, they are infatuated. It should not be over much beauty which make the stranger's eyes hypnotized, you can say. Or even the girl may become distraught. The girl may also herself become distraught or infatuated to her own beauty. So he says she should not be so beautiful that when she looks into the mirror, she also can fall a prey to infatuation for her own beauty. For means because such being made beautiful overmuch. When a person is made overmuch beautiful, extraordinarily beautiful, what happens? Such people consider beauty a sufficient end. End means goal, end means purpose. Sometimes what happens when a person finds that he is extraordinarily beautiful, so he or she considers it a sufficient goal for his life, a sufficient purpose for his life to maintain that beauty, to consider beauty only a sufficient end. Ki to remain beautiful is their goal of life. They do nothing more than staying beautiful. It is quite possible, and that is why the poet wishes that his daughter should be beautiful, but she should not be extraordinarily beautiful. So, this is, you can say, a kind of common sense that common sense prayer which the poet, in a very wise manner, seeks for his daughter. ऐसे लोग, when they consider the beauty a sufficient goal in life, they lose natural kindness. They lose natural kindness. They don't remain any longer naturally kind or generous because they consider themselves superior. They consider themselves more beautiful and therefore superior than other people. Just as you have seen, the white people consider black or yellow people inferior to their race. So, she should not be made over much beautiful, otherwise, it is quite possible that she will lose natural kindness and maybe the heart revealing intimacy that chooses right. Heart revealing intimacy. Intimacy is closeness, the friendship. Heart revealing means, reveal means disclose, reveal means open up. So the feeling or the intimacy or the friendship that reveals heart. When do you reveal your heart? When do you open up your heart? When do you share your heart? When you are intimate to someone, when you are very close to someone, when you have a friendship with someone. And such intimate friends, when they share their heart, they choose only the right person. They do not choose a hypocrite. They do not choose to choose a person who is not superior to them, who does not feel himself superior, जिसमें किसी तरह का कोई complex नहीं हो. तो first thing, first condition that a person generally feels in a friendship is that there should be no superiority or inferiority complex between them. They should be on equal terms. The heart revealing intimacy that chooses right person, and when she is over much beautiful, when she considers herself superior to other people, it is quite possible that she will never find a friend, because heart revealing intimacy or friendship chooses right people, and she may not be right person for others because she considers herself superior, and therefore it is quite possible that in such a circumstance she will never find a friend. And therefore he says, therefore he wishes that that his daughter should not be granted over much beauty. She should be beautiful, but she should not be extraordinarily beautiful. That is his first wish. And we will do this much here. We will do the rest of the poem tomorrow. Okay, thank you.